Please put me out of my misery.
Shut up and eat your treats.
Welcome to the good, the bad, and the bloody. I'm Derek Brown.
I'm Cody Bowden.
The good, the bad, and the ugly, where we or bloody, where we talk about scary movies and other things. And one of those other things is Halloween.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all noticed.
It's almost there.
It's pretty much
6 weeks till Halloween.
It's pretty much October. September's always been the middleman.
Yeah.
It's always been that month that's in between my August and my Halloween, you know?
Yep.
I don't know.
It's not back to school time, but it's not Halloween, so September's just like, look.
Yeah, the end of September.
You can just go on through.
The end of
I won't
September.
try to talk to you. It's fine.
It's a waste of time. The end. Just cut those 2 weeks out. Just the first 2 weeks are the back to school weeks of the year. That's it. What are the other two? Just like, yeah, I've started school already. Nothing interesting is happening. There's no holidays. All right, let's do this.
Yeah.
Like, because, okay, we got a call from our good friend Sean, and he...
Just minutes ago.
Yeah.
Or half an hour ago. Something like that.
And he had asked us what's been going on.
Nothing.
And, yeah, this is one of those times of the year where it's totally fine to have nothing going on for at least 2 weeks. Nothing interesting is going to happen. You know, nothing has happened. You got to make something happen.
Unless you just watch movies like The Voices.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, because you can't ask me how school's been going, because I just started like 2 weeks ago. That's when you'd be like, is it okay? So you pretty much have to ask how it has been, you know.
Is it a good start?
Yeah.
Are you getting your running legs all formed up, little pony?
No one asks how you're doing when you're running a marathon like 5 minutes into the marathon. You know what I mean?
How you holding up?
It's
Mr.
like
Johnson.
It's like I kind of just started, but not really. I guess I'm okay.
I'm starting to get a little sweaty.
And he's like, all right, I'll check back up.
Like now. Oh my god.
Are you sweating right now?
A little bit.
Is it hot in here?
It's like John watching a scary movie.
Oh man, I'm so fucking sweaty. But either way, so yeah, I'm just excited that there's Halloween stuff in the stores now.
I feel like a kid in a candy store. I was going to say Halloween store, but that's redundant.
You know, you can't really say... Everyone's excited in a candy store. I never buy anything from a candy store, but I love going in there and looking at all the bubble gum and stuff.
You're like, oh my god, a big stick, a yard of bubble gum.
It's colorful in
Who
there,
buys
man.
that stuff?
You bought a yard of gum.
Yeah, I buy that stuff.
That's so bad. But, you know what? Halloween for us, this is going to be our first Halloween. Wow.
Together.
Oh god. That's... I don't know, I feel like that's so crazy. Like, we should plan something insane for it, but I just don't know what to do.
Well,
I really don't know.
Since I'm planning on being Captain America for Halloween, I can't get drunk, because Captain America can't get drunk.
Oh, that's true.
If you pay attention to the movies.
Yeah. Well, what you can do is, Wolverine can't get drunk either.
He tries, bless his heart.
But why does he drink beer then? Why does he even try?
He just likes the bitter taste.
I guess. I don't know.
Of greased up pennies and piss.
It reminds him of the Civil War. Which he was in. Which is fucking weird.
That's weird.
He should be, like, insanely smart. I like how he's a history teacher in the academy.
Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
No, you didn't?
No.
No, he is.
Was that in the animated show, or was that the movies?
Oh, it's both.
Ooh.
It's hilarious.
The Revolutionary War. It didn't happen like that. Yes, it did, motherfucker. I was there.
I was there. There was all kinds of X-Men.
George Washington, really racist.
And a mutant.
Yeah.
His mutant superpower was bigotry. But that's the only tree he chopped down. Bigotry. I'm done now. I'm sorry.
According to the movie universe, at least President Kennedy is a mutant.
Yeah. What was his power? I mean, like, did they ever go into that? No, I know his power
Betting
was.
any woman he wanted.
Yeah, maybe. I think
That's how he fucked Marilyn Monroe.
I think his mutant power was the ability to flip anything around. Like, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you could do for your country. Have you noticed those are half his quotes? Are just like, not this, but that, and then that, but this. Those are literally over half of his quotes.
I think his superpower is just charisma.
That's gay.
like super charisma. Like he could twist anybody into anything.
Yeah, it's super
like,
gay. Like Marilyn Monroe.
Come on,
he twisted
Marilyn.
her. Oh.
Take off your drawers.
Oh.
Do what you can do for your country.
Oh, God. Gross. The commander in queef. So,
no.
But yeah, Halloween stores opening up. Man, there are some cool stuff.
Oh, yeah.
There's some cool stuff at stores now. And I say this because this year I've seen masks that I've never even heard of before. They had this feature called...
Animotion.
Yeah, Animotion, which is kind of stupid, but it seems like every mask has that kind of like...
It's got a hinge for its jaw
Yeah.
that just sits on your chin. Hopefully.
Yeah.
So when you talk, it just goes...
It slightly opens the mouth, and it makes a different face, too. Now, I've seen this before, but, like, not in stores, you know? Not so accessible. And I was like, oh, these are probably $50 masks. They're like $20, $30. I was so impressed. I mean, I don't know. It kind of makes me wish that I could do more than one costume this year for Halloween. But I had my mind set on being Mad Max. You know, Max Rockatansky, so whatever.
How mad are you going to be, though?
I'm not going to wear the feral thing on my mouth.
Oh, so you're not quite red.
No.
You're not quite high octane.
I mean, I could if I wanted to. I just have to figure out a way to build it. See, if I get the leg brace down, I'll probably have enough like resources to build a face mask.
Yeah.
I just don't really want to go all out if I can't.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So I don't know. It beats me. I also got to coordinate with Derek a little more about that. So.
Since
anyway,
it'll be Nux.
Yeah. But man, I'm going to be so excited for that because we're going to post pictures of, you know, our Halloween costumes and I don't know, just anything Halloween related because that's pretty much everything in Halloween fits the theme of our show, I'd say.
Well, yeah. Hopefully it's all good. It's not all bad. And just a little bloody.
A lot bloody, maybe. Maybe we should watch the Halloween movies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm surprised we haven't yet. Maybe that's why.
I'm saving them.
Yeah, for this?
Sure.
Something. But along the lines of us saying that the end of September is pretty cut and dry, there's really not much to talk about.
I know.
I mean, I can't really think of a single thing. Everything interesting that's happened is all because somebody made it interesting. Like, recently, our friend John, longtime listener, one-time host.
You might know him as Dr. Nasty.
Yeah, he recently got engaged.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes for him.
We'll save her name for privacy sakes.
Oh, okay.
Because
Well,
I don't think
we've
we've mentioned her on the podcast so far, so we wouldn't want to...
No. We're only going to talk about people that have willingly been on the show.
Or we know listen.
Because, I mean, that makes sense, right? It's not like John's going to say, like, hey, I don't know, I don't want you name dropping me. He's been on the damn show.
Yeah.
He wants to come back on, too.
So badly.
Yeah.
I wonder what movie we should bring him on for.
I don't know.
Maybe if we can get him into a movie theater.
No. I talked to him about that, and he said, I'm not going to pay to shit myself. So that's a no, Derek. That's a definite no.
I was going to say, he should go with us to the Green Inferno next week.
That movie looks so dumb. Everyone's excited for it.
I'm just excited because it's another 2015 scary movie.
I guess. Yeah.
There haven't been a lot of them. Like, all of them started jumping up, like, just in the last few months.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, because they're on the end of the year, Halloween. Mm-hmm.
Like, remember, when we first watched Woman in Black back in January, it was, like, another month before we saw another one.
That's true. I don't know. The problem
I can't even remember what that one was.
I just have a problem with Green Inferno, because I just don't see what people see in it, because everyone's so excited for it, but every time I see the commercials, it looks like high quality, big budget, kind of like, you know,
mediocrity.
Yeah, pretty much. I just don't know how to...
It's because it's Eli Roth. He did Cabin Fever, and that was a shit movie.
I just don't see how you can get excited about movies like that. Like, it's very hard for me to look at a trailer and go, oh shit, I have to see that. Unless I know what it's about already or something like that.
The last one that I got really, really excited for was The Winter Soldier.
The last one I can remember getting excited for was Avengers 2. But it was the first time anyone had, you know, it came out, the first trailer, which was like a year ago.
Yeah.
And I don't know, everyone was shitting their pants. You got to see the Hulkbuster for a little bit.
Yeah.
I got really excited.
And then
about
James Spader came on with his crazy cool voice.
Yeah, where
there
he's
are no strings on me.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, that was cool. It was cool in the movie too. So that worked out. That's fine. But I can't really think of movie trailer that I really sat there and went, "Oh God, that's amazing." In fact, the trailer for Mad Max Fury Road, I actually thought looked retarded.
I thought it looked fun.
I can see it, but it's a movie that makes a horrible trailer.
What a lovely day.
There are no parts in that movie you can really pull and make a decent trailer out of.
Yeah, it was only that part that was like very advertisable. Was Nux yelling, "What a lovely day!"
Yeah, and it is a little silly, but that makes sense during the movie. But it's the only time that they
just
really
looks like every other action flick, kind of during the trailer.
Yeah, and it looks kind of boring because it is the same setting the entire time, but it works for that movie.
The one part that I really like from the trailer is when Max flies on that stick across everybody, up in front.
That's
pole vault
I saw that and I was like, oh, that's dumb. I've seen that in Die Hard. But then you watch the movie.
I know. First Die Hard?
No, I'm just fucking with you. But
you son of a bitch.
But you watch the movie and you go, holy shit, this is the best movie ever. I'm making it my Halloween costume. That's why I don't really look at
Not all of us can be Max.
True.
Unless I'm Mel Gibson Max.
You could be. You could be, man.
I gotta watch Road Warrior, see what I'm doing.
You could look like him if you wanted to, man.
That'd be funny, just throw some gray in here. Which I already have, but
permit,
still.
Shave your beard. Hold up a sign that says I hate Jews and fags. I don't know, man.
Shave my beard, fine. But get a perm? No.
Just sleep with curlers in your hair, then.
Oh, Jesus. Someone busts in. Oh, what's going on?
You're in a mint green bathrobe with pink slippers and a rolling pin. What the fuck is happening?
They're like, oh, shit.
What is that the weapon that they have? They went into the kitchen to grab a rolling pin?
I'd grab a knife. Fuck you.
I know, that's why I think it's so stupid.
I wouldn't beat a man. I'd kill a man.
What are they? They're going to put me down on a table and, roll me to death? Just squeeze my organs out? I don't know.
That'd be really sourdough.
Wow, Derek. Of all the bread puns, that was the least funny you could have done. I got nothing either, man. Call me Wonder Dick. All right. But like I said,
I agree. That was some weed ass shit.
Oh, jeez. What was I gonna say about Mad Max?
Damn shame.
I remember. But what I was gonna say was about trailers. I almost always view them negatively now. I almost never look at a trailer and go, "Oh, that looks good." I almost always say, "Oh, that's decent," or "That's going to be terrible." I just don't trust trailers anymore, man. Like The Visit, I thought it was going to be awful. Turns out it was pretty okay.
Yeah, and then
good
The Purge looked awesome, and then that turned out to be the worst horror movie of 2013.
Purge Anarchy, I didn't even pay attention to the trailer because I was like, Purge 1 again. Here we go.
Yeah.
But then I saw it and I was like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, Matt showed me the trailer for that and I went, holy cow, that looks kind of good. And he goes, kind of good? And I said, well, I'm not going to say really good because that hurt me last time.
Yeah, exactly.
Made me cry.
From my penis. Anyway.
Still not good enough to own it yet, but...
Purge Anarchy?
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset if somebody bought it for me.
I don't think I could watch that movie more than once.
I'd seen it twice, and it was still pretty good the second time.
Okay, because, I could watch it again now. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But it's one of those movies where when you know with the twists and turns, you're like, okay, I'm waiting for him to go there, and then they go there. Because when I saw it the first time, I was just so... It was so action. It was exciting because you didn't know what was going to happen next. You didn't know where they were going to go. Everything that was happening for them didn't work out, and then they would have to do something else. So
there was no car.
Yeah. It's like a maze where you don't even know what the turns are. For all you know, you're walking down this maze, and instead of, you could go left, right, or keep on going straight, nope, I'm going diagonally, and then I'm going to go down and up.
Where I don't see.
And
diagonally.
That makes it so you don't know what the ending's going to be like either, you know?
Yeah.
And boy, that ending was crazy. Go watch that movie, people. We're going to review that movie.
Eventually.
I just remembered all of them. As I was talking about, I just remembered how it ended and stuff. That's a great ending. We need to talk about that movie.
We should just talk about both of them at the same time.
Yeah. Well, the first one's going to be like a second.
I'm surprised a third one hasn't come out this year.
Well, because
they did the first one 2013. They did the second one last year. So a third one I was half expecting to come out this year.
Well, because they wrapped up the story.
I'm expecting them to turn into an anthology series, like they've done so far.
Well, what would the third Purge be about?
Just another year.
But
because they did stuff like that with the Friday the 13th sequels. Basically,
there was like a huge revolution, though. Remember, and they killed almost all of the wealthy.
They could go back and do like previous years.
Maybe. Oh, when it started, maybe. That would be interesting.
Or the year after. you know?
Well, it's funny because there's so many ties that remind me to the video game Bioshock Infinite, because the group that started the Purge was called the Founding Fathers, and just so much of that shit that just sounds so much like dictatorship, but like hidden by freedom. I'm just saying, man. People would vote for a guy if his name was George Washington, but he was like a, extremist Hitler fan. They'd probably still vote for him. It's because his name is George Washington. They go, man, he must be American as fuck. Freedom fries.
What?
I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Let's get into the movie.
The Voices.
Yes.
Starring Ryan Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a movie perfectly cast for him, if I could ever think of anybody to play this part.
Now, this is a dumb question, but what else was Ryan Reynolds in?
Van Wilder.
Mm-hmm.
The failed Green Lantern movie.
Oh, yeah.
You ever see Harold and Kumar?
Which one?
White Castle.
He's in White Castle?
He was the surgeon that was kind of like all freaky.
Oh, yeah.
To Kumar.
That's right.
He was in Waiting.
Yeah, with Dane Cook? No, that was...
Dane Cook was in there, but he was like a side character.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite role Dane Cook's ever done.
Besides his Vicious Circle stand-up and...
Yeah.
Etc.
And then... He's been in a number of things. He's going to be Deadpool next year.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Everyone's excited for that.
Because for any superhero, for him to be, I would have said Deadpool, not Green Lantern.
You know what I don't like about Deadpool? How everyone acts like they know Deadpool. They're just like, read the comics. And it's like, have you? No. Everyone's like, Deadpool's so cool. And it's like, why? Do you even know who Deadpool is?
Why is he cool? Jimmy Jongas!
And that's just terrible.
Yeah.
Whatever. The movie will be good for its own reasons.
I don't even pretend. Like, there are those people that are like, you only like the movie because you only like the character because of the movie. I'll sit there and be like, with the Deadpool one, I'll say, well, yeah, and so do you.
Exactly.
You scrub.
You're like, what, did you play the video game? And you faggot.
Yeah.
Oh, the video game is funny.
People are always like, you're not a true fan unless you read all the 200 and so comics, and you watch all the TV shows, and you can be a fan of anything as long as you like something enough.
Yeah.
You know?
I just don't know how he became popular through just, pop culture, honestly. Like, he wasn't always the superhero who broke the fourth wall all the time.
Yeah, he was just some other dude that was kind of like Deathstroke, so then they tried making him the other way.
Yeah.
Because Deathstroke is deadly serious.
Oh. That's true. Well, he was the X-Men or whatever. What do you call... I don't know.
An X-Man. No.
He was
like a Weapon X.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Person.
Yeah. He was created in the X-Men, which people don't really realize either. He's basically an X-Men. He is a mutant.
He became who he was basically through the same way Wolverine got his kick-ass skeleton.
Yeah, except instead of like physical changes, it was like DNA. So they gave him like insane regeneration.
Even better than Wolverine, apparently.
Yeah. Oh yeah, way better. Dude, you can cut his head off and he'll be fine.
Which that's really crazy.
There's a part in the game, because I don't know any specific examples from the comics, I don't read comics. There's a part in the game where he gets blown up, and he's literally in chunks. And his cells just get strong enough to start like inching toward each other, and he just like reforms.
What?
I know. You have to like disintegrate the guy.
That's stupid.
I know. But he's basically
and then he comes back and goes, look what happened, lol.
He's indestructible. Yeah. And his head gets put on wrong when he's rebuilding his body, so he cuts his own head off and like turns it around and puts it back on.
God damn it.
I know, it's weird.
That's just annoying.
But where'd the fourth wall breaking thing come from? Like
the writers. I blame the writers.
Just some fucking 4chan thread. I don't know. The guys are too busy. Maybe 4chan was down that day, and they're just like, we gotta put our LOL randomness into these comics.
I've only read one Deadpool comic, and that was him fighting the Hulk. I don't know how many times he's done that, but it was Deadpool versus the Hulk. And it was like, we need to get some of the Hulk's blood, so you need to go fight him, and, let's do it. Or no, I think it was Bruce Banner's blood, but then he hulked out, and they're just like, we can't use that. You gotta kick his ass or something. And Deadpool's like, are you serious?
That's amazing.
And I was like, what the fuck's going on here? He's talking to me. He's talking to me.
Yeah, and he's like looking out at the camera. I don't know, he's like looking through the panels at you.
I was like,
so
this
weird.
is ridiculous. That's also the same year I first read a Daredevil comic, where he fights Bullseye. Again, I don't know what time.
He's probably fought Bullseye like 8,000 times.
Yeah. I don't know if this was his debut time or his 500th time.
I like how in the shitty movie, like the first one, well, actually the only one really,
Yeah, the only one.
the Bullseye is just some like bald Armenian guy. It's just the guy from Cash Cab.
Basically, as played by Colin Farrell.
That's
So it's
true.
an Irishman trying to play a bald Armenian man,
I don't know.
but without a cash cab.
Oh, it's so dumb. Anyway, the voices, we're getting sidetracked. But yeah, Ryan Reynolds, he's pretty popular. Getting more popular,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah, this came out on direct-to-DVD way back in February. I was trying to find a time to sit down and watch it with you, but other stuff was going on, and we kept coming up with other movies to watch. So I was just like, okay, I'll just whatever. So it just kept getting put on the back burner. I watched it once before we watched it, and I was like, dude, this movie's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
But I picked it up just because of the cover, which is Ryan just standing in a pink jumpsuit with a dog, a cat, and a freaking saw.
Yeah, like a handsaw.
And it's just kind of like, alright, bring it on.
I mean, it looks weird. You really... Okay, like, looking at this, what would you think it is? I honestly have no idea.
Some kind of weird... Like, I'd think exactly what it was, honestly.
It looks like a...
It looks like a comedy, but the font screams, like, dark.
I mean, and
stuff.
people can see what this looks like in the thumbnail,
Yeah.
you know? On this little video's picture, I mean, it does look funny.
Yeah.
You gotta say that. I mean, it looks silly. It's definitely... It's great, because that theme that you're seeing on what is basically the cover of this DVD is how it looks throughout most of the movie. Just kind of silly, fun, bright, and happy for the most part.
And then it hits its dark moments, and you're like, holy shit, this is a horror movie. I almost forgot.
But that's good, you know? I mean, this is one of the best dark comedies I've seen. If you want to consider The Visit to be a dark comedy.
I see it as such.
It's not supposed to be funny. I mean, okay, well, Shyamalan always does that.
As I told you, I think, if you remember, M. Night did like 3 versions of that movie. One purely horror, one purely comedy, and then the third one as an in-between. And decided to go with that.
And he picked the completely funny one and said it was scary. Because, you know, he's Shyamalan, shit Milan. I don't fucking give a fuck Milan. Just makes me want to watch Mulan. I don't know. Talk about Shyamalan all the time.
Jesus.
Okay, but the voices, yeah. Very, very silly looking. It is very silly, but in the best ways.
It's a
you can
unique,
think of.
kind of little scary
Yeah,
movie.
this is one of the most original movies I've seen in a while. I can't really think of anything in this movie that was taken from anything else.
Well, in the way that they did it anyway.
Well, you could argue it's the same story, but just from a different perspective.
Like Psycho.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically Psycho told from Norman Bates's point of view.
Yeah, except not creepy. Because his voices are his dead mom that he keeps in the basement.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, in case you haven't seen that movie, it's only been 50 years.
Yeah.
You know,
55 at this point.
get on the fucking ball. So, there's that. But with that, he has... he's basically schizophrenic. He hears a bunch of voices. He has delusions of what reality looks like.
And what's great is that they're not like disembodied voices.
Yeah, they're personified. They're projected onto something.
His pets.
Yeah, so he projects them onto his dog and his cat, and his dog is like his
Rocco and Mr. Whiskers.
Yeah, is Rocco? Was it Rocco?
I think.
No, it wasn't Rocco.
Rocky?
No, it was Roscoe. Bosco. Bosco.
Something Osco.
Bosco.
Costco.
So his dog, Walmart, and Mr. Whiskers. It's quite clear that the dog is the good conscience that he has.
Yeah, they're his shoulder angels, basically.
Yeah, the dog questions his choices. The dog is the only thing that's saying, hey, maybe that's a bad idea. You just think about that. Who are you as a person? And the cat's just telling him to do it.
He's just a dirty little Scottish cat.
Yeah. At first, the cat's not saying you want to kill people, but the cat's saying stuff like that almost.
You miserable piece of shit.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's pretty accurate as far as how crazy people might think, though.
This movie spawned one of my favorite lines that I've ever heard. Like,
What's that?
"We're not like the pussy, Jerry. We have morals."
Yeah, and that's when Bosco says that. Oh, it's so interesting. Although, it's weird to think that he's talking to himself the whole time.
Yeah,
And
you forget that until they show you, and then you're like,
Yeah. And also with his delusions, his apartment, well, not really apartment, but his little... Where he lives. He lives in, like, an abandoned bowling alley.
yeah, right above it.
Yeah. It's
Which would
very...
be kind of a cool place to live.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
throw parties there all the time.
Oh, yeah, I'd try to clean up the bowling alley if he owns it, you know? And just, like... I mean, I you know what? I wouldn't mind setting up my pins every time, but I would bowl. If that meant I get to bowl whenever I want all day.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Get some guy out there to fix one of the machines at least. Maybe like $1,000, $2,000 to do that. Whatever, dude.
Life goals. Make a lot of money, buy Meridian Lanes, build an apartment right on top of it.
You know, you can build the bowling alley for pretty cheap, I've heard.
Yeah.
I've heard it's not that expensive to make your own lane. You just have to have space for it. That's what I would do if I have a backyard. I would just scrap it, yard work, get the fuck out of here, build a giant shed. My neighbors would be like, "Wow, that is really obnoxious," and I'd go, "Fuck you, it's my house." You know, just imagine that. Like, people have like the fences, and all you can see is maybe trees poking out from their yard. Mine would just have a giant 2-story warehouse that just takes up the entire backyard. Everyone's like,
awesome.
"What the fuck?"
Jerry, Ryan Reynolds' character, he works in a bathtub manufacturing company, which, of all places, why?
I thought he worked for a toy company.
No, it's a bathtub manufacturing place.
Oh, really?
You were busy with your woman, man.
I guess so.
But yeah, they do shipping and delivery. That's his division, his branch that he works in the place, and he's got the hots for this British woman in accounting.
Yeah.
I think she is named Fiona,
Yes. Fiona.
played by Gemma Arterton.
Arterton. Yeah, that's a weird name.
She's in a few other movies. I'm sorry for butchering it, if anyone gives a hoot.
The only other name you're going to know from this is Anna Kendrick.
Yes,
Who is interested in him, but he's not interested in her yet.
at first.
Yeah.
These two aren't banging yet. He tries asking Fiona out on a date.
She says no.
She says no, I got other things going on, so naturally, like a bitch, she goes and does other things with her friends.
Yeah.
And then she gets stuck out in the rain, and after he drives by after being stood up, he gives her a ride home.
Yeah, he just like, he does accidentally stumble upon her. And, you know, at first it's like, oh, okay, it was an accident totally from his perspective and stuff, but from her perspective it seems a little creepy, you know?
Yeah.
Because she already thought this guy was creepy anyway. So then she gets in the car and he starts asking really weird questions. Like
he's talking about God and stuff.
Yeah, he's like, who are the 5 angels, you know?
Yeah. All this stuff. He hits a deer and he kills it.
Yeah,
like starts talking to him like, please put me out of my misery.
And he's like, okay, and he kills the deer with a fucking knife, and he's covered in blood, she's covered in blood, and he turns to her and he's like, Lucifer. That's one of the angels, Lucifer.
That was the last one.
That was the last one. And she's like, oh my god. So, you know, this couldn't look any worse, you know. So she starts running away, and he's like, oh wait, no, hold on. I was just telling you that it was Lucifer.
Yeah, I was just making small talk, please.
And he's holding the knife, running, you know, chasing her through the woods with a knife. And it's like, it's so funny because you're following it from his perspective, and it's just like, oh, this is the biggest misunderstanding ever.
Like Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yeah.
If you ever saw that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie, but I know about that. And I really want to see that after watching this.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Because that's like the accidental murders. Well, they don't even kill anyone. They kill themselves.
Yeah, they all kill themselves accidentally.
Yeah. But this is different because it's just, you know, it's more story. But anyway.
The first one was accidental.
Ooh, oh my. That's true.
He runs, trips, jams his knife right into her,
And
as we all happen to do on first dates.
Oops.
You know?
Oh man, stick it in her
Yeah.
on a first date. Wow, he got pretty far.
Sorry, bro. I didn't mean to bang your girlfriend. I tripped and my dick fell in.
Whoops!
It was an accident.
Just fell right in. of course, she's like, "Oh God, he was a murderer," but she's dying, so who cares?
Yeah.
And that's so funny because he's like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry, shit," and he's like, "You're in so much pain, I know. I'll put you out of it." And he just starts stabbing her repeatedly, and he's like, I'm sorry," and then that's when you're looking at it like, holy shit, like, voices or not, that's insane.
Yeah.
You know?
Voices are not.
I don't know.
He's already crazy, man.
Yeah, but I don't know. It sounds like the voices just like tell him to do stuff and force him to, but you didn't hear any voices at that moment.
No.
He just kind of said, I gotta do this.
He's just so kind that he's like, you know what, you can't suffer. Nor can I call the police.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's just so weird. But he pretty much, he kills her.
Brings it back to his apartment. Chops her up into little bits.
Yeah, and there's also moments where he visits his psychotherapist, and she just pretty much reminds him to take his medicine and asks him if he's heard voices still.
Just like, no. Well, I stopped using my pills at one point. Jerry, no.
You gotta take your pills. He's like, ah. But he takes Fiona. This is so weird. There's nothing that explains why he does this. But this is just him being crazy, I guess. He takes her to his place and chops her into little pieces and puts her in, like, Tupperware.
Yeah.
And, like, he, like, seals the Tupperware up and, like, I don't know, just, like, puts it in bags and makes, like, basically towers of just, like, meat.
Just covers his whole counter. And it's like,
fucking
what are you going to
disgusting.
do with this, man? Eat it?
Yeah, it's so weird. And he cuts her head off and puts her in the fridge and, you know...
Just show her that's the good place to put it.
Yeah, and he opens up the fridge again, and she's like, now she's talking to him. Now she's one of the voices that he can project onto someone. So now her talking head is just like,
I'm lonely.
yeah.
Could you go kill someone else for me?
Well, first she says, take your pills,
Yeah.
which is weird because, like, I guess he's not going to remind himself, oh man, I should probably take my pills. So he's going to have one of his voices do it.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the voice of reason. And so she, for a while at least. So she's like, take your pills. And he's like, oh, okay. Takes a whole bunch. All of a sudden he realizes how shitty everything is.
Yeah, everything turns from nice and polished to just covered in blood. Everything stinks. He opens up the fridge door again and her head's just like rotting.
Yeah. And it's not like it was super beautiful and happy-go-lucky when he wasn't on his pills, but it just looked normal.
Yeah.
So now he realizes how disgusting and, like, dark it is, and it's just nasty.
And his dogs or his pets won't talk to him, and he's just like, no, don't leave me.
Yeah.
He just does this all because he's alone.
Which is really sad, you know.
So he goes and he pukes back up his pills,
Yeah.
and everything's right again.
Yeah, and then he opens up the fridge, and grabs her head, and she's like, I'm sorry that I told you to take the pills. Those were nasty pills anyway. And he's like,
Pip Cheerio.
Yeah, and he's making her voice, like, really stereotypically, like, English, which is so funny.
Yeah.
Chip, chip, cheerio. And oh, it's so weird. She's like, those pills were no good. And he's like, yeah, no, they were terrible.
Yeah.
So
no.
bad. And then
drugs are bad.
And then he, like, smells her hair, even though she's, like, a rotting corpse. And he's like, you smell good. It's so fucking weird, man.
It's the best.
But yeah, that's when she says, like, it gets lonely in that fridge. I need a friend, you know.
He's like, no. This was only a one-time thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Help me. And so he goes to Anna Kendrick's character. I forget her name in the movie.
Doesn't really matter, honestly.
But she's like totally into him. And he's like, oh, I can't kill you. You actually like me.
Yeah, I think it was the cat's idea to go after her. Because he was saying, oh man, that'd be easy, you know. How about her? Just take her out and kill her. So they actually go out. They actually end up really liking each other.
Having a good night.
They start talking about their cats, and it's funny from Ryan's perspective, not Ryan, but Jerry's perspective, of how his cat literally talks to him.
He's like, my cat's an asshole.
Yeah, but when she talks about her cats, it sounds exactly the same, even though she is not schizophrenic.
So crazy or not, cats are assholes.
Yeah, but I think it's funny how people, you know, will personify an animal to the extent where it sounds exactly the same to someone who literally thinks the animal can talk to them.
Yes.
So it's like, oh, he doesn't like, you know, he doesn't like his naps afternoon, and, you know, he likes milk like that, you know. It's just so ridiculous. almost like it's a child of yours. But they go out, and she takes him to her place.
Oh, yeah.
And they get it on!
Naturally, they bang.
Oh, yes.
And it's good stuff, as far as I can tell from the both of them.
Yeah.
Because she's in a kimono the next day, which means she has to be extra comfortable.
And everything is going his way, you know. He'll open his fridge in the morning, and, like, her head's still in there, and she's like, give me a friend! And he, like, shuts it really quick. I'm like, Jesus, hell.
He's like, nah.
Yeah. And it's really sad. But then one day...
she shows up to surprise him.
Yeah. And that's like, oh, shit. So...
because she sees everything, and he's like, no, you weren't supposed to see this. Why? Why would you show up when I'm not expecting you? And she's just like... ooh.
She's like, I'm sorry, I have to go. And he's like, no, you can't go. No. So he, like, chases her into his bedroom, and she's, like, fucking freaking out. And it's really sad because it kind of was an accident, you know?
Yeah.
So he's just, like, sitting there on the door, and she's like, Jerry, I'm scared. And he's like, no, it's really scary. No, it was really scary. I know. And he's like...
he's the most self-aware serial killer.
Yeah.
Since, like, Hannibal Lecter.
And he's like, I just want to talk. And she's like, okay, we'll talk. And she tries to run away again. And he's like, no.
And he picks her up and throws her, and she hits her neck on the headboard.
Of his bed.
And just breaks her neck.
And it's like... oh, shit, he accidentally killed another one. Or did he, you know? Because he kind of threw her hard. I don't know.
Well, he ended up, like, doing something else to finish her off.
Yeah, well...
but that was just, like, so sick to see. Because there was, like, no blood, but you could just instantly tell, like, oh, she's cooked.
And her neck was broken, too. You hear the neck snap. And he just, like cuddles next to her, and he's like, I'm sorry. And then next scene, it shows him putting her head in the fridge.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. And it's like, I don't know, they're talking all lovey-dovey and stuff. It's like, you know, I love you. It's like, I love you too.
Jesus Christ.
So weird.
And naturally, with two people dead, people start wondering what the fuck's going on.
And then...
Allison, I remember her name.
Yeah.
This bigger woman shows up, and she's like, hi, Jerry. And he's like, hi, Allison.
And the next scene, he just puts her head in the fridge.
Yeah.
Doesn't even show her getting killed. It's so funny. It's just like, shit, I can't stop, you know? And that's where shit really starts picking up heat.
It's like, here I go killing again.
Pretty much. It gets pretty insane, though. His boss, he's not going into work, you know? His boss wonders what the hell's happening. People are disappearing. And they find out his backstory, that he was...
his mom was schizophrenic. His father was abusive because he was like, I can't have two crazy people in my life.
And that's where they do the crazy flashback scenes, which are insane. But we missed the one flashback when he was with...
yeah, when he first took Anna Kendrick's character to his old house, his mom tried committing suicide and she couldn't do it all the way. So she had him finish her off.
Which is insane. Like, something that's just... that's so much trauma to put your kid through, to, like, tell him to, like, kill you.
Yeah.
With a broken piece of, like, glass. Like, slit their neck? Come on. Also, they established that he always heard voices, even as a kid.
But this sent him even worse over the edge. And he spent a lot of time in jail.
Yeah.
I don't know how long, but...
oh, it beats me.
Spent that time in jail or in a mental institution, either way.
Yeah. So...
which is really shitty.
yeah, it honestly is like... when you're watching it, you're just like, yeah, that's how serial killers are made. Crazy shit like that, you know.
And Worst Mom of the Year award goes to...
oh, yeah. Worst Mom of the Year award goes to Mommy Dearest, actually. So, I'm sorry, this is a close third, maybe?
Oh.
Ooh.
Third?
Yeah. Number 2 has to be the Bates.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Oh, well. He loves his mommy, so whatever.
Mom is a boy's best friend.
Or maybe Jason Voorhees' mother. I don't know.
Pamela Voorhees.
Is that her name?
Yeah.
Pamela. It's so stupid. How scary. Ooh,
she
Pamela.
died this year, that actress that played the mom.
The original?
Yeah.
Wow. How old is she? 70?
Like in her 80s, I think.
Jesus Christ. That's an old cup of water. It's
Ridiculous.
Old underpants. So, It starts getting like, I don't know, this is where shit gets turns into like action scenes at this point.
Yeah, people show up to his house, find all that gruesome shit, so they call the cops. He goes to his psychotherapist, kidnaps her.
Yeah, he's
because
like,
shit goes south.
he's like, I've done bad stuff, and she's like, well, you haven't killed anyone yet, right? And he's like, it's a little late for that, and she's like, no. And he's like, yes, and he's like, I have to tell someone. He's like, no, you don't. And then fucking
Yeah, that shit was hilarious.
It's just so funny.
She's like about to pick up her phone. He's just like, nope, give me that.
It's so bad. Oh, I love what he takes her out to the woods so he can get like therapy.
Like a quick 10-minute thing.
Yeah, and then she like says some really, yeah, it's really interesting like stuff. What she says is actually pretty profound. And he's like, see, that's like 10 years of therapy right there.
Yeah, 10 years of therapy all wrapped up into like 15 minutes. Why can't all therapy be like this? And I'm sitting there like, yeah.
Because they pay her to do it, you know?
It's paid hourly.
Exactly, that's why you gotta drag that lesson out, you know? But other than that, it's like what you said, his apartment, random people go to check up on him and possibly find them, the missing girls. And that's when you see his apartment, like, through someone else's eyes. After the last two incidents, and it's insane. There's like his walls are covered in like boxes of Tupperware, garbage bags that are duct taped together, just
The worst.
yeah.
And on top of all of that, his dog ran away.
Yeah, Bosco. Yeah, he ran out the door. But that is so crazy because what was in his mind that he needed to do that? You know, I guess you'll never understand it. They're crazy, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he just thought that don't waste meat, pack it up. Put it into boxes or
That's
something.
what his dad taught him as a hunting man.
Maybe, I don't know. I honestly, that's just the most bizarre quirk. I like that. I can't explain that though. I can't sit there and go, oh, that's because when he was a kid, this.
Yeah.
It just makes more sense.
The best kind of mysteries are the ones you have to figure out.
Yeah. But
he has her tied up, and he tries to introduce her to Fiona.
oh yeah,
And he's like, here's someone to talk to. She instantly freaks out because, of course, it's a fucking rotting head.
yeah. It's so
He's
bad.
like, no, you can't be doing that.
He's like, don't yell. It's so messed up.
The cops show up and they throw tear gas in, so he tunnels out into the bowling alley.
Yeah, he goes down like an air vent and he's sneaking out. And this is like the final fight scene, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So while he goes through the little air duct to escape, he hits this pipe that's connected to the gas, and so now there's like a huge gas leak.
Yeah, and I can't remember how it started, but I think there might have been a spark as well. But fucking everything blows up and catches on fire.
Yeah, there was a spark. Once he gets down to the bowling alley part of his location, I guess, his living area. Yeah, there's a spark between that pipe and electrical pipe, and the electrical wires up next to it. I don't know, it's really weird. But yeah, the whole thing does blow up, kills like all the SWAT guys. There's only like a few guys left down there, just like,
and
holy shit.
And his therapist gets out, thankfully.
Yeah, they pull her out. But man, that's so crazy. They must have been like, holy shit, this guy's a fucking crazy person. Like, insane. He even blew up his apartment. So now Jerry is faced with a few options. He's face down, laying on the bowling alley, and everything's on fire. The building's collapsing.
He can either lie down and die, or he can try and run and probably go to jail or get killed.
Or kill more people.
Yeah.
So that was a huge dilemma. It's like, you have a chance to, run away and survive, but you'll be a killer,
Yeah.
and you're probably going to kill again. And those are the two voices that are bickering at that point. The voice of the dog and the cat, where the cat's like, this is your chance to be something great. Be who you're supposed to be, go out there and kill people. And the dog's like, but that's horrible, that makes you a terrible person.
Yeah.
So
He lies down and dies.
yeah, he decides to finally listen to the dog. And then it's weird, because then in his mind you see that the cat acknowledge the dog and go, you know what? Yeah, all right.
You were all right for an ass sniffer, or
Yeah.
whatever.
And he's like, you too, pussy.
And then they part ways on this dark fucking black or white background. Like something you'd see in a Cyanide and Happiness comic, or those old iPod or Apple computers kind of commercials. I'm a Mac and I'm a PC.
yeah.
And they split ways, and then Jerry's dressed in a nice blue suit, And he's just like, oh, hey, everybody, in the afterlife.
And everyone's there like, hey, Jerry.
It turns a fucking 180 again.
And it becomes, like, super happy. And then it's... I don't know what you would say it is, but you said it pretty well. You thought it was his, like, final thoughts before he died.
Mm-hmm.
So he's, like, dancing, and... Oh, it's so weird.
It's like your lifetime flashed before your eyes. But for him, it's just everybody singing a happy song.
But that is amazing. That is one of the best endings I've ever seen. It was like the ending of Shrek when everyone gets together and like sings.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so weird.
But it's not covered in a layer of cynicism like the Shrek series.
Pretty much. Yeah. So everyone that he killed and everyone in the movie.
His mom. Even Jesus shows up.
Yeah, Jesus walks up and he's like, Jesus? And he's like, hey.
He's like, hey, Jerry. Peace, man.
Yeah, I'll start dancing. That's so
Sing
funny.
a happy song, sing a happy song.
It's so great.
It's the best.
What a great palate cleanser if you felt dirty watching it at all.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's worth it. That ending is worth the movie.
This movie takes you on quite a roller coaster. Like, it starts off all pleasant, then it turns really kind of disturbing, and then kind of happy again, and then really disturbing, and then ends on a pretty positive note.
It's true.
Like, I think we said it, like, right as the movie was ending, and Jesse was waking back up. It was kind of like, if she had fallen asleep right in the beginning of the movie, and then woken up right then, she could have thought we were watching a comedy the whole time.
Yeah, a really cheesy comedy. But the thing about that ending is, if it was in any other movie, like, if it was in a comedy movie, you'd go, oh, what a shit ending, you know?
Yeah.
But the
Like
fact
the
that it's...
40-year-old virgin.
Yeah, that was so stupid. That was one of the worst endings to any movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, how was that? I feel... or whatever.
It was so dumb. I don't know. It was supposed to be funny, I think, but I never laughed. I never said, wow, this is bizarre and absurd. How funny. I just thought it was really annoying. Even though I do like that song.
It worked.
Yeah, I like the song Aquarius they played in that. But in this song, I like the song here too. But the dance sequence actually made sense. Because of the contrast, too. It really put the comedy bit to the dark comedy.
Yeah.
I loved it. I don't know.
It's great. I think anybody who maybe liked The Cable Guy with Jim Carrey in it would probably like this. Because it's basically like the new... It's Cable Guy 2.0.
This is the murderous Cable Guy. The one that's actually, like, crazy, not just insane.
Yeah. Crazy insane or insane crazy.
Exactly. What was your favorite scene and your least favorite scene in this movie?
My favorite scene was when he first whacks back out of the drugs after taking them.
Oh, yeah?
Again. Or no, he takes the drugs after not taking them a while. And his apartment turns into that disheveled piece of shit we see. All the blood and Fiona's head is rotting and all that stuff. Because it caught me off guard. Like, I totally forgot we were watching that. Like, that's what was going on.
Yeah.
Because of how well we follow his perspective through the movie. I was like, holy fuck. Like, I had to stand up for a moment and be like, whoa.
You forgot everything was icky.
Yeah. This is what ignorance is.
What about your least favorite scene?
Can't really think of a least favorite. I think it might be like that group meeting where afterwards he discussed having the leftover pizza with that Indian dude.
Yeah.
The whole exchange just seemed kind of awkward between the two of them.
But that's what's great, because you got to kind of see how he does interact with other people.
Yeah, but the other dude was just kind of awkward as well.
Yeah.
I didn't really like him so much. So I could have done without him in the movie.
There's very little of this movie is, like, just putting in there for the sake of it.
Yeah.
You know, everything is kind of necessary. Setting up something.
Yeah. That dude's performance seemed phoned in. That's why it's my least favorite.
My favorite scene has to be the huge misunderstanding with Anna Kendrick's character in his apartment. Or his bowling alley place.
That leads to her broken neck.
Because everything he says is exactly what serial killers say before they, like, kill the girl. But, like, you actually know why he's saying it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it makes so much sense. So if she actually, like, sat down and listened to him, she would have probably not died. And he would have been like, okay, just whatever, you know. But instead she's like, don't kill me, I won't tell anyone, I swear. And he just, like, calm the fuck down and trying to explain exactly what happened here.
Yeah,
but, you know, she doesn't see what he sees, so...
For fuck's sakes.
I don't know, I just thought it was so funny. I was like, oh no, he's saying everything wrong, but there's nothing else.
But he's saying it in the Ryan Reynolds way. Like, if Val Kilmer was... No, not Val Kilmer. Van Wilder, I mean, was a serial killer.
But the thing is, he's
trying to charm his way out in the most awkward way possible.
Well, yeah, he says all the wrong things, but, like, there's no other way to say what he has to say.
Exactly.
So it's like, oh, that sucks. She's not going to think anything different of this guy. That's insane. And my least favorite scene probably has to be how long he's waiting in the restaurant for the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's in the Asian restaurant while they're all over at some karaoke bar.
I don't know, I just felt that was like a little too long. But whatever.
It did have his little fish scene where he's talking to the fish.
Yeah, that was funny.
That's... I agree, that's probably the only good part out of that whole scene. Just, hello, Mr. Fish. How are you?
He's like Adam Sandler. He goes Adam Sandler on that. What are you looking at, Swan?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, sorry to interrupt. Like a penguin or something.
Oh, man, Billy Madison.
That would have been a great tie-in if they threw a giant penguin in this movie.
So fucking stupid.
I would have been like, oh my god, Billy Madison's not a drunk idiot. He's just crazy.
Yeah, he takes crazy pills. Oh, boy.
How many spooks would you give this movie?
You want me to rate it first?
Yeah.
Well, out of 10 spooks, I give this movie an 8.
Whoa.
And I give it a lot of points. You want to know why?
Why?
Because it's really original.
Yeah.
I've never seen a movie like this.
Yeah.
Ever. Comedy, horror, or otherwise. I've never seen anything told like this. It's interesting. Because you're really just following the whole time. But, I don't know, it's like The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, but like... he's like a murderer. I don't fucking know, man.
Secret Life of Jerry What's-His-Ass. Something German.
It's just so... And even if you don't think it's original or even clever at all, you can appreciate how funny it can be.
And how surreal it gets.
And the ending scene is like such a hilarious like 180 from the on and off comedy that you can't help but get down with it too. You just want to dance, and it's really funny. I love how it wraps itself up, man. It's a nice little present. It makes itself a nice present. What about you, though? What do you rate it out of 10 spooks?
I give it an 8 as well.
You do?
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Like, when I first watched it, I was like, good God, I can't wait to show this to other people.
Yeah, no, it looked interesting, because I think we saw it in a trailer. As a trailer in what movie?
No, we saw it as a trailer on just...
On the
on
internet?
YouTube.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
I looked up
right.
movies coming out this year, and it said The Voices with Ryan Reynolds. And I went, what? A horror movie with Ryan Reynolds?
This should have been in theaters.
Yeah.
If The Duff was in theaters, this should have been in the theaters. Are you shitting me?
Rules now. We can only use horror movies that came out this year. It should have replaced The Lazarus Effect.
Oh, yeah.
Or Unfriended.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But no, Unfriended is the new wave of horror movies. Kids don't give a shit about like axe murderers anymore. They care about like your Skype getting hacked, you know?
By a ghost.
Like, remember you talked to all your brothers and your sisters and they said that it was pretty freaky. They thought that Unfriended was pretty scary.
Yeah, I think it was only Desi and Alexis that went and saw that movie. And they were like, I thought it was good. And I went, well.
See, that's because they're just slightly younger than us, but that makes so much of a difference in this time. Everything's so fast now. Like, we're 9/11, for example.
Oh.
Just dropping that like it's hot. Oh, God.
Oh, no.
I shouldn't have said that. But to us, that's barely relevant. But, we can still feel terrible for making fun of it. But for them, what's that to them? That is nothing to them.
Not yet.
No. Not ever.
Because I think that happened just before Desi was born.
Yeah.
Her birthday is in October.
It's not even a distant memory. Do you know what I mean?
Like, we remember it.
Yeah.
Us too.
So, just imagine
none
that.
of these young kids are going to know a life before the internet.
Exactly. That's kind of my point there, They're in the generation where everything has changed. Everything just feels different.
Everything changed after the Fire Nation attack. And
don't
all those other unoriginal quotes.
I really have no way to tie this into how technology is going too fast, and pop culture is different with the kids getting younger and younger. I don't know. You'll probably figure something else. Actually, you know what? Write a 100-page essay. No, just 10-page essay. That's fine. I put it on my desk Monday morning.
You got it, sir.
And tell me the cultural similarities between 9/11 and technology.
Oh, Jesus.
And how kids are growing up too fast.
Well.
Oh, boy.
Wow. We're just under an hour.
Yeah, once. I know. Well, like I said at the beginning of this, there's not much to talk about,
Yeah, other than go watch this, because this is a great movie. I'm sure it'll be on Netflix at some point, if not already. Or you can go rent it at whatever video store is near you. Or just go out and buy it, because it might be at some store near you.
Now, I don't know if we talked about this, though. But his work uniform would make a fucking amazing Halloween costume.
Yes, it would.
But I don't think anybody would get it.
Nope, buddy.
No. That's what's sad. Because as you can see, it's a bright bubblegum pink jumpsuit.
Oh, and as my final thoughts on the movie,
Yeah?
which is more of just a quick, interesting trivia, his 2 pets are also voiced by him.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
the only voices that he hears that are voiced by Ryan Reynolds as well. Because he argued with the director that they should be voiced by him because their voice is manufactured in his head. So that shows that Reynolds cared about this movie enough.
He's got some range, too. I mean, if you're going to star in it, too, you wouldn't want some, like, half-assed, like, voiceover thing, you know?
Yeah, and most of the time, big star guys, big name stars, can get away with, like, doing, like, half-assed jobs and everybody will still go, oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
But he actually cares enough to be like, I'm gonna be disturbing. I'm gonna be just non-charming as fuck.
I mean, there was almost nothing to, there's almost no reason for him to really care other than that he liked the movie. It was a Sundance Film Festival selection, though. That's interesting.
Yeah, it holds good ratings among people. I think it's at a 73 right now.
Yeah, it did have a big producer behind it, Lionsgate, but that doesn't really matter, you know.
Yeah.
Still,
What's in the name?
Sundance is pretty indie, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I can't say indie because indie seems to be different than independent nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
Which is weird because they're supposed to be the same thing, but
who knows anymore?
that's so hard.
That should be like one of our. We should have a editorial.
Oh, okay.
We should have an editorial on the differences between indie and independent, and Indiana Jones,
And Indiana Jones.
and the Indy 500, and
so
Indiana.
4 things. Okay, 5 things.
All the difference between those.
What's the difference between all of these? Well,
What really is the difference between Indiana Jones and the state of Indiana? I mean, there's other than what the hat, I guess.
yeah, Indiana can't wear a big enough hat to cover his archaeological mind. Oh, wait a second.
Oh snap!
I got my Indianas mixed up.
Oh my.
Well, anyway, next week,
What are we watching next week?
The Green Inferno.
Ah shit. So this is that new movie that's coming out. It's like The Jungle Book. I'm just gonna call it The Jungle Book on acid.
Eli Roth's The Jungle Book. What I instantly thought was kind of interesting about it was that it's supposed to be connected, I guess, to Hannibal Holocaust.
What?
Cannibal Holocaust,
The
I
fuck
mean.
is that?
It's like one of the first found footage films back in the day. And it
Weird.
took place in this little area in South America called the Green Inferno.
Oh.
So I guess it's his stab at it, which makes me kind of wary. It's like the most raw film I've ever seen, Cannibal Holocaust.
Well. Maybe
Like
that's
they-
why it's gonna be so gripping and shit.
They myrtleize a turtle on screen.
What if this is just a remake? What if he actually went to a place where that shit was legal? Ripping apart turtles? And they just did that. I don't know, man. Who knows what this is about?
Well, either way,
Well, I guess now I'm a little excited hearing that.
Green Inferno on Friday or whenever
Oh, why didn't you
listen to
tell
this.
me that before? That actually makes it sound pretty interesting.
Oh, man.
If it's going to be anything closely related to that, I'm ready, man. Let's do this.
Shit. Alright, the Green Inferno on Friday.
Yes, we're going to
Or on the
watch it.
25th, I'll say. Be there or be somewhere else.
Whether you like it or not.
Bye, everybody.
Suck a dick.